Right, we're on episode 4 of the iPhone 12 Pro Max series review. Yeah, it's been long coming. I mean, so far we have 5 episodes and we're going good. Actually, we're going averagely. We're not good, but we're hanging there. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to take a look at the camera specifications, the camera review, the camera test, and also augmented reality. This is one of the powerful features that has been introduced by Apple in their camera module. By augmented reality, I mean that it is supported by the light scanner, this little scanner right here. So I'm going to explain everything about the light scanner, what it is, what it uses, what it requires, and all the sensor shift in the triple set camera, as you can see here. I hope it's clear. Right. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max has a 3 set of cameras: the wide camera, ultra wide camera, and the telephoto camera. So all of these cameras, these 3 sets cameras, all of them, they are 12 megapixels. They're not much pixels in those cameras. I mean, it's not a big sensor like the popular Samsung Galaxy S21 with 108 megapixels. I mean, the difference of megapixels is just too much, considering the fact that the Samsung Galaxy S21 has 2 telephoto cameras. It's a large camera, and so far through the videos I've watched on YouTube, Samsung S21 has the best camera design and the camera overall. But to my surprise, I was intrigued to find out that iPhone is a really good challenger. I mean, the iPhone 18 or the iPhone 12s or whatever they're going to call it has to match up the level of the iPhone of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So all of these, we're going to take care of it, the testing and the augmented reality testing, right? So Apple introduced a boost in camera features for the iPhone 12 Pro Max by introducing the light sensor. So it had the iPhones, 2020 iPhones, they came in 4. They've got the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 mini, the iPhone 12 Pro, and the 12 Pro Max. So on the Pro versions, you will get 3 cameras with the light sensor, and all of these cameras have a really larger and increased sensor in terms of frames and also the millimeters of the camera sensors. The selfie camera also has 12 megapixels. The iPhone 12 Pro Max camera system includes the ultra wide and telephoto cameras. The wide camera acts as the main shooter, and it has a sensor shift optical image stabilization. That means the camera sensor itself is constantly being stabilized while you frame your shot, which could lessen the number of blurry shots you take, and also it can lessen the amount of grains you can find and those pixels you can find when you're taking your pictures, especially when you're zooming. Right, let's dive in deep into the camera specifications. We've got the ultra-wide camera that sits at aperture of f2.4 and 120 degrees angle field of view. We've got the wide camera that sits at aperture of f1.6 and the telephoto camera that sits at aperture of f2.0. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max, that was the Pro, the iPhone 12 Pro Max sits at aperture of 2.2. It has 2 times optical zoom in. It has 2x optical zoom in, 2x optical zoom out, 4x optical zoom range. It has 2.5x optical zoom in, 2x optical zoom out, 5x optical zoom range, and it has digital zoom of up to 12x. That's the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Okay, so this is the camera test of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. As you can see, the picture and the high dynamic range of the iPhone 12 Pro Max is really vivid, and the audio caption, through the microphone, is it really sounds good. I mean, it can capture a full-on packed audio. It can record at a good audio, right? So this is my hood. So right, I'm going to start running to test out the stability feature of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So right now I'm going to start running, and also I know you've noticed a cat and a dog. Those are my two pets at home, right? So I'm going to start running, and we're going to test out the stability features of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now let's go. So I'm running, and you can actually tell that it's a bit stable and shaky. It tries to really hold off the motion and senses whether you're running or you are not running. But the camera, I mean, it's really bright. It shows really vivid colors, as you can see here. That's my dog, you see? Hello, folks. So now we're going to zoom into that tower light and see how far it can zoom to that tower light. So this is the ultra wide camera. So in ultra wide camera include many people. If you're a people person, it can include many people in your camera. So this is the ultra wide camera, and this is the telephoto camera for zooming. So here you can actually zoom and capture everything you want to capture at close range. So this is 2.5x zoom. Now we're going to the 7x zoom. So this is the 7x zoom. You can actually notice that the tower light has turned on, as you can see that little bulb there. So it's really good. It can capture every detail. The high dynamic range and the depth of field, they're really impressive on this phone, right? That was 7x zoom. This is 2.2x zoom. This is 1x zoom. This is 0.5x zoom, and it uses 13mm sensor. And the 1x zoom, it uses 26mm sensor, and the 2.5x zoom. So we're shooting at night. Remember that tower light? There it is. It has turned on. Let's try to zoom it in. Right. And there it is. So it's a bit grainy at night. Maybe it's because of the night. And it's at 7x. And we're recording at 1080p 60 frames per second. Let's zoom back in, and it can automatically switch from wide to telephoto and ultra wide video. So this is the ultra wide. It's a bit dark because maybe it's far away and it's extended. Right. Let's turn back to the wide camera. So this is how it looks like in the dark. It can even show the stars. As you can see, there's a star, and there are other stars. It's a good camera. With the lighter scanner, it improves the cameras. The lighter scanner really improves the picture quality and captures really in-depth pictures, especially in the night. You can also take portrait pictures in the night or at the purest of darkness, and the light scanner can detect your face or the object that you're shooting. Right, for your selfie, it has 12 megapixel camera that sits at aperture of f2.2, and it has an advanced portrait mode. Using the selfie camera, you can record at HDR video with dope vision at 30 frames per second and at 4K video recording at 24, 25, 30 and 60 frames per second. Also, you can record at 1080 pixels at 25, 30 and 60 frames per second. On your video, you can also get a cinematic video stabilization 4K 1080 pixels or at 720 pixels. Video and picture capture of the iPhone is really fast, and it doesn't drag to process all those photos after taking them. On the selfie camera, there is also the TrueDepth camera, and this camera enables Face ID for facial recognition when you are unlocking your phone. So when you're recording a video, these are the specifications of the camera. It can record at 720 pixels HD at 30 frames per second. It can record at 1080p at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames per second, 4K at 24 frames per second, 4K at 30 frames per second, and also at 60 frames per second. You can also take HDR video, record up to 60 frames per second video in 10-bit high dynamic range, including Dolby Vision. Okay, this is the video recording of a selfie. It really brings out the light, and we can actually shoot the sunset and see how it can be viewed. Right. I like the fact that it can control the cameras as you move, and the camera is stabilized. So now let's talk about augmented reality. This is an interactive 3D experience that combines a view of real world with computer-generated elements. So augmented reality turns the environment around you into a digital interface by placing visual objects in the real world. That is, of course, in real time, but you can also view these through your device. You cannot see them through the naked eye, but your phone, through the light scanner and the camera features, you can see those virtual objects. It uses the light scanner for improved augmented reality scans. You can also produce your 3D visions using this scanner here. Thank you for watching. See you on our next episode. Cheers.